I want to show you a study that a lot of you are probably familiar with. It's called the Chesapeake Bay Study. And in Massachusetts, they performed this in 2012, and they took a conventional septic tank. They modified the second compartment to where it would fully nitrify. Then they took that fully nitrified effluent, and you can see right here how they circulated it back to the first compartment where the carbon source is, where the anoxic zone is, and they circulated to lower total nitrogen. They nitrified in here, and that's what we demonstrated to you that we're doing. And then when they recirculated, because of that anoxic zone and the proper recirculation ratio, they were able to denitrify. Okay, now this is what they said in that report. This is the ratios that they used, and they found that if they used a 1-to-1 ratio, that they could accomplish around 50% reduction in total nitrogen. With a 2-to-1, they could accomplish around 66%. 3-to-1 ratio, they could accomplish 75%. With a 4-to-1, around 80%. With a 5-to-1, around 83%. They said that a 20-to-1 should accomplish 95%. But they also make a statement here. They say that increasing the recirculation ratio has a negative effect of increasing the flow of oxygenated effluent into the denitrification zone. And what that does when you get your recirc rate up too high is it's going to raise the dissolved oxygen in that anoxic zone or that pretreatment zone, and you're going to quit denitrifying. So there is a cutoff point, and they state that in this study. Okay, so when you look at what they did and you look at where we are, we are ready to now do research and development on our product for denitrification. We took our time. We've been studying the nitrification part of it. You know, the carbonate, the BOD, TSS, lowering that, of course, and then we've been studying the nitrification portion. We wanted to get that right, and we're now ready to start R&D on our product for denitrification. We know that's a big problem here in the state, and we feel like we can add something here to the state of Florida with this product and help with some of these problems and still be economical. So this is the product in front of you that we're going to do the R&D on. You can see that this is a 1,000-gallon 2-compartment septic tank, and you can see that the BM 2624, the one that we've had at the trade show, is in there. And you can also see the filtered pump vault. Now, the filtered pump vault, I originally developed that for level control of that septic tank. When you have a failing drain field and it's backed up in that septic tank and you don't have time for that drain field to recover, because it's not going to recover in a day or two, and that homeowner can't flush the toilet, you can install that filtered pump vault, and it ties to the outlet of the septic tank within the septic tank. No excavation required. Now that's what I originally developed that for, was level control. And it controls the level in that septic tank within 3/4 of an inch of the bottom of the outlet pipe. Also, it's orificed, it's flow controlled. That pump will put out 30 gallons a minute. We don't want 30 gallons a minute leaving the septic tank. We want to simulate gravity flow. So it's orificed to around 4 gallons a minute. It's also filtered down to 3/32 of an inch. And that's what we've had 2 of those running at Texas A&M with that same setup that I just described. And they're controlling the level in those 2 tanks, that 750-gallon septic tank and the 1,000-gallon septic tank. So it's a perfect pump, or perfect filter pump vault to recycle. And so that's what we're going to do. You can see how the pump is mounted, and it's recirculating back to the pretreatment tank, we call it, or the first compartment where the carbon source, where the anoxic zone is. You know, the Chesapeake Bay Study and others have used airlifts to transfer water from the nitrified zone to the anoxic zone. We're choosing to do it this way. You get a little oxygen, not a whole lot, but a little oxygen transfer in your airlift when you use it to recirculate. So we won't have that issue, and we're going to be precisely controlling it at 4 gallons per minute. So when we're setting up recycle ratios, it won't be no guesswork. It'll be right on the money. And of course, we can We can also physically test it right here at the end of that pipe when we're calibrating it. But anyway, so that's the setup that we're fixing to do research and development on. So what we're going to be able to do and what we're going to be able to provide to you guys and gals, installers, we're going to be able to provide a product that will not only produce low CBOD and TSS numbers, but it will fully nitrify, and once we've done the development on this, fully denitrify. And this is all in a septic tank. This is not a certain size tank. This is not, you got to build it. My background is an aerobic treatment manufacturer, so to be in the wastewater business in the early days, I had to be in the tank business. And I also had to be in the fiberglass business because we were back then in Texas, we were building them out of fiberglass. That was the big wave. And of course now it's going back, it went back concrete. But anyway, so anywhere in the United States, we can ship this product for under $100. It weighs about 40 something pounds. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all have to come to the booth, the booth's down. But anyway, so sorry about that, Roxanne. But anyway, so what the point I was making is that this is a septic tank. So anywhere we ship product, the installer is going to have access to a 2-compartment state-approved septic tank, and we don't even have to modify that tank to turn it into this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that's a question for Roxanne. We don't know yet. Right. Okay. So let's talk about one more thing before I open it up to questions. Ease of maintenance and operation. So a product produces good water, like the BioMaze, but is it maintainable? Is it easy to maintain? Well, yes, it is. So here's the maintenance involved. You have an air pump, high blow air pump, so you have to clean the filter or replace it periodically. You have to keep the ongoing maintenance of the air pump, keep it running, in other words. And then you can see down again into the septic tank, and you're looking at the pods, and you're looking at the biomass or biofilm that's on the pods. Okay, so what happens to that biomass, in terms of maintenance, what happens is it grows, and as it gets thicker, it sloughs off. And because of the vertical nature of the biomaze pods, the sludge or biofilm sludge falls to the bottom of the tank because it's heavier than water, and it collects there. This sample in this sludge judge right here that you're looking at came out of this tank about around 6.5 months after it was installed, and you're looking at about 2.5 inches of sludge in a 6-month period. So we provide sludge management, if you will, because the sludge has a place to go and it sloughs off, and so it's pretty much self-cleaning. We did design this where it's easy to bring out if you have a problem or if the homeowner's abused it and put trash down in there and it gets on the pods. These ropes are tied to the side of the riser, and you simply pull them out, wash them off, put them back in. Okay, so sludge management can be accomplished through pump out. So the normal septic tank pump out, if this product was installed, you'd be pulling the sludge out from under the pods. So not a lot of maintenance to it. It's going to be a pretty simple maintenance item. Okay, I want to open it up to question and answers. Anybody have a question?
On the pumping maintenance of it, where 5 years they got to pump it out at the very side, just move it, or we got to
Okay, I'm going to repeat the question best I could because it was, I think, 2 questions, but he wants to know, repeat it to me one more time.
pumping and maintenance, we got to pump things, pump them out.
Yeah, he says normal maintenance is 3 to 5 years on a septic tank. Yeah, of course, you can take a sludge judge and you can double check with the sludge judge to know exactly when it needs pumping. When it's around 10 to 12 inches of sludge, say 10 inches of sludge, it's time to waste sludge. So it's time to pump. And when it's time to pump, yeah, pump the whole tank. Pump the first compartment, pump the final compartment, all the sludge that is in that final compartment, and pull these out when you're pumping it so you don't tear them up. Wash them off over the riser and let the pump truck guy pump that out when he pumps the tank. So now you're looking at a clean tank, fill it up with potable water, lower the pods back in, just like you did on the original installation.
What does that do to the trash side? You have to sludge on that side of the sludge?
Okay, the question is, does the BioMaze product clean up the first compartment of the septic tank? And the answer is no. It acts just like it does in a normal septic tank. It's catching most of the solids and the grease and the trash in that tank, in that first compartment. Yes, sir.
But it's not a dual compartment tank. It's still functional.
I couldn't hear you, sir.
It's not a dual compartment, single compartment tank. A lot of our old tanks.
It will perform in a single, the question is, will it perform in a single compartment tank? The question is yes, but it requires more maintenance because you obviously have some trash and solids that are going to eventually get over here on this mesh and cause you to have maintain it more often. And it'll have to be pumped out more often, normally. Okay, any more questions? What time are we running on? 2 minutes. Okay, this gentleman back here. I couldn't quite hear all that. Clean the tank out. Okay, I'll first ask, how long do y'all think it takes to clean a tank out without the BioMaze product in it? 40 minutes, this gentleman over here says. That y'all agree? What? Okay, 45 minutes. So the only time it's going to take extra to pump the tank when you have a BioMaze in it is the time it takes to grab these ropes, pull them up out of the septic tank, set them over here. Nope. Spray them off first. Okay, set them over here. And once you get them setting over here, then the septic tank pumper can do his 40-minute pump job. And then once he's finished, then you're going to fill the tanks back up. You don't want them to float anyway. So you're going to fill them back up. And once they're full, you lower these pods down in where they were and rope them back off to the side of the riser. Okay, any other questions? Okay, well, we really appreciate you coming to the presentation, and we really enjoyed being here in Florida with you. Thanks a lot.